This is Sebastian from Indulge Me. Today I'm going to give you tips on your loadout and your kill streaks in order to improve your KD in Modern Warfare 2. Originally when I started playing Call of Duty, my KD was around 0.93, 0.94, and I wouldn't go up much higher from there. So I finally found a loadout and some skills that actually help you play through the game in order to improve your KD. So first I'll talk about my loadout. I use a SCAR with a silencer and a holographic scope. In my secondary, I use a PP2000 with a holographic scope and a silencer as well. I find this loadout to work out really well because I can run across the map and kill multiple people without giving away my location. Now for my kill streaks, I use a UAV, I use an airdrop, and I use an emergency airdrop. I like to use the airdrops because with the airdrops I can get things like the AC-130 that I just got here, and I can get them fairly quickly. This allows me to constantly use kill streaks over and over and over again that I normally wouldn't obtain in a match, or I would have to obtain later in a match, getting maybe 10 or 11 kills. So the airdrops are risky to use because you can possibly get like a resupply or something else, but you also have a chance of getting those higher kill streaks out there, like the AC-130, the chopper gunner, or even a predator missile here and there is pretty good just to continue the flow of the game. Now let's talk about one of the perks I use. One of the perks I use is Hardline Pro because it gives you one less for your kill streak and one less for your death streak. It only gives you one less for your death streak when you unlock it at the Pro version. So I use these because it allows me to get my UAV at only 2 kills, and then I can find the people around me, and I can go and try to take them out. And since it's hard for me to be seen, I can basically run around the map and pick off the little stragglers, like I am doing here, basically. And to try to get that emergency airdrop, to get those 4 crates, to try to get those really, really good kill streaks out there. The other thing I like about the airdrops is when I go to halftime, because I like to play Capture the Flag and Domination and stuff like that, I like to throw the crates right away, and this allows me to get an upper hand on the enemy to try to get something like a predator missile or a stealth bomber, because I can get a ton of kills really, really quickly because they're all grouped together. Now the UAV, people tend to not like to use that as their kill streak anymore, but I like to for 3 reasons. Number 1, I can get it quickly. Number 2, it allows me to avoid or chase down my enemies. And number 3, it also allows me to see my enemies when I get like a stealth bomber or something from my 3 kills. Now when you're in really close areas, always use your knife, because when people are shooting at you, you can actually lunge forward towards them and still kill them before they can kill you. The knife's range is insane in this game, even without commando. Now, as you've just seen, I'm doing really well right now. I'm doing 21 and 4, so my KD is about 5.0, a little bit higher right now. Now, the other perk I use is the Blink Pro perk. This allows me to put 2 attachments on my primary and secondary weapon. And for both weapons, I like to use a holographic and a silencer. I feel the silencers are good because you can't be found across the map, and you can just hide in one place and camp sometimes, which tons of you guys probably hate, or you can even run around and still kill people. But the whole point of the silencer is not to be seen, and it does pretty well. And you can actually add it with the ninja perk if you want to be really, really sneaky and not be seen at all across the map. The holographic sight, I feel, is a little more accurate than the red dot, so I like to use that instead. It makes me feel like my shots are more accurate and I have a better chance of... Now the final perk I use is the Steady Aim Pro perk, and I use this perk when I want to use the spray and pray technique, when I feel like just spraying around and taking out people and just hoping I get them. It allows me to really get the advantage over people when I'm surprised, instead of actually looking down my sight and aiming. Now, as you constantly keep seeing, I'm always basically having some type of kill streak popping up on my screen, because I'm always getting the 2s and 3s, and I can actually accumulate these over time to a point where I can have like 5 care packages, which is equal to my emergency airdrops anyway. Now right now is halftime, and I'm 12 and 5, so I'm a little above 2.0, so that's pretty good right now. Another thing I want to show you is maps have different places you can hide. Like here on High Rise, you can actually like run on top of the cranes, and you can run on top of the little catwalks, I like to call them, up here. And you can just hang out inside the bases, and this is good for capture the flag and stuff. So when they spawn on that side, you can just keep killing them over and over and over again, building up your kill streaks and your KD. Another good tip is when you're running, only sprint really short distances, because if you constantly sprint, you won't be able to kill guys around corners or guys that are walking or guys already shooting at you, because you won't be able to pull out your gun fast enough and they'll gun you down before you even realize it. This is me hanging out on the top catwalks and the crane, just killing them inside their bases, building up their kill streaks to improve my KD. Now, Wasteland is a good level to build up your KD on, because you can just hang out in the middle with a couple people, and you can just keep killing guys over and over and over again, because they'll just keep running by you, or you can plant claymores, or just camp out in one area and watch your UAV to keep killing guys. Sometimes it can get a little overwhelming, though, so it's also a level where you can get a lot of deaths if you don't control the middle, and then it can be kind of hard. But see here, I just got one of the attack helicopters from my airdrop that I only got 3 kills with, so that was pretty good instead of waiting for the 9 or 7 or whatever it was, I don't remember. Now the other thing is, if I'm fighting a guy and I know I'm losing, or I have the low ammo sign, or I have to reload or anything, I always switch to my pistol, because by the time you reload, you're gonna die. So if you're able to switch to your pistol, I like the machine pistol because it does a lot of damage, and it's basically like a little mini assault rifle with the silencer on it. It allows me to dispatch my enemies pretty quickly, like as if I had my Scar. Sometimes, though, I will get the resupplies with my airdrops, and I won't have to switch to my pistol ever, really. But it really depends on my luck, or really what's going on. Now, the other thing is, I don't use grenades. I use claymores because I hate when people come up behind me and knife me, or just shoot me down. So I like to use claymores whenever I'm, like, camping or hanging back in an area. Now, I know people say camping is for noobs, but I camp, but then I'll run across the map and camp somewhere else, and run across the map and camp somewhere else. So I'm still moving around, and I kill people while I'm moving. So it's not like I'm hanging out in the same exact place over and over and over again. And even if I was camping, if you're a good enough player, you can come up there and kill me, even with something as simple as a grenade, or even a flashbang and a knife to the face. Another thing that's really good is finding the back entrances to bases, because then you can go around your enemy and attack them from behind and just infiltrate their base and do some serious damage to them. And because I have my silencers, it's really hard for them to know where I am, so I can just keep killing them in their own base. Now, people have asked me why I don't use a scrambler or ninja. Scramblers, you see, when you get close enough is when they start to activate, really, and people know you're in the area, so they know to be on guard, and they know to look around for somebody who's using a scrambler. And the reason why I don't use ninja is because ninja's pretty good, but Steady Aim Pro allows you to have the advantage of your enemy if you're ever surprised, and it allows you to actually get out of the situation. If you're good with your silencer, you won't have to use ninja, because if you're always moving, even if you're moving across the map to go camp to a different area, because your silencer hides you, so no one's going to have any idea where you were shot from, except with the exception of the kill cam, because they'll be able to see where you are, and if they're a revengeful person, they'll go back and try to get you. See, I, on the other hand, am not a really vengeful person, and I always forget where the person is killing me until I get killed by them again, so I don't really care, and it's not a big deal to me. This review is coming to an end, so just a side note, if you don't have Bling Pro or Steady Aim Pro or anything like that, I like to use Sleight of Hand and Stopping Power to work my way up to those higher perks, and for the silencers and the holographic scope, until you can get this loadout, because that's what I did use at first. This is my opinion on my loadout, so this is all taken with discretion, but hopefully you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. This is my loadout for Modern Warfare 2. Check out our site, indulge.me. Sebastian out.